Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Christian again. And today I was able to do my first Rust program. So Rust is a functional programming language. This is the first time I use it. And I will go ahead and just share my screen so you guys can see what I did. And here I have the program I created. So I created a guessing game. It is just a simple game where you just have to guess a random number that the computer gives us, and then if it's lower, it will say lower. If it's greater than the number, it will still greater. And then after that, if we get the number, we'll win. So in order to do that, Rust uses libraries. There are some standards libraries that we can use. There is a whole website of libraries that we can use. But in this program, I just use the command use in order to use the library, and then the standard library, the random library, and another standard library. And you can be more specific about what library you can use. So for example, here I use the CMP order. Then we always create functions. So this is a function. We will always have a main function, and then we can start having more functions and stuff like that. But for this simple program, I just created one function. We use print line in order to print what we need to display to the user. And Rust has, per default, Rust has immutable variables, meaning that the variable cannot change during the program. We are able to create a mutable variable using let mute, but we have to specifically say that we are going to use that as a mutable string or integer. So here we just printed everything. We created here the variable, and here in the variable, we are using the random library and using this method and the range, which is between 1 to 1 and 1. And this is just 100. Then we just, I just did this for the sake of knowing what the number is for the guessing game, but I will leave it here right now so we can know how the code works. Then I create a loop, just specifically called loops, a loop in Rust, which is really easy. You type your guess. I created here the guess variable, which is immutable, and I use it as a string, and it's a new. So in Rust, we always have to say string new or integer new, or we can use different methods. So if you guys can see here, you can see like different methods that we can have. We call the library. So this is the standard library. And then I was able to read the readline method, and using the mutable variable. And expect is only to show just in case there is no a string, then we're gonna be like, hey, failed to read line. It's kind of like a try in Python. Then after that, I'm just gonna read this. So guess is a mutable number. We are passing the variable into an integer to avoid errors with string and integers. So if we do not do that, the program will crash. So here, what I'm doing is that I am using guess and put it as an integer, so we can avoid errors. Putting as an integer, there are many forms, and there is a website about it, but guys can go and check. So U32 is specifically for an integer. I think U64 is for floats. So then I am using the match, and this is just going to help us out to call this. And then we're just going to use the variable trim, which is eliminate the white spaces, and parse will parse the method to an integer. So it will just kind of like transfer all of this into an integer. This is just error handling. So if there is a number and the number is bad, then we're going to crash the program. Here you print, you guess. Very curious. I think it's really amazing that whenever we want to print a variable, we have to open brackets, and then we put the variable at the end of the line. So I think that's awesome. Here we are just using what we need to do. So for example, here I'm using the guess and the secret number that we are using. And then we're gonna be ordering, which is the library that we just used. And this is gonna tell us if it's less, then we're gonna print the number is too small. If it's greater, then the number is too big. Now, if it's equal, this is where we said you got achieve, meaning that you just won the game. And then you have a breakpoint. So this breakpoint will break the loop. If we don't do that, even if we do the equal, it will keep going and going. And this is just the secret number. So I will go ahead and run it. Here I just call the location of my folder. And whenever we call a program in Rust, we already have to install the extension. So we just type cargo run, and then it's gonna build it. And then this is the program. So this is the guessing game instructions. Please type your guess. So I don't know the guess. I will go ahead, 55, the number is too big. So let's type 50, number is too big, 40, 40, number is too big. Let's go 30, number is too big. Oh, okay, 10, too small, 15, 20, too big. Let's do 18. 18, number is too big, 17, too big. Okay, it's gonna be 16. Okay, and then you can see that you got achieve good work. The secret number was 16. And this is my simple program. Hopefully you guys were able to understand it, and thank you.